Your man's chest is the zephyr. So I met this guy when I was 24, 2025. Yeah. So I'll try and make the story as short as possible, guys, like honestly. So I met this guy when I was like 24, 25, and I was quite young then, very gullible, like very, very, very gullible. So anyway, long story, long story long. So he used to DM me, ne? Like he would DM me on Facebook, DM me, and I did not really respond because I think at the time, when I look at it now, I think I was really busy because I was a student. I was a final year student for my undergrad, and also on top of that, I I had two jobs. So I was really trying to get them coins also. Like trying to get I'm always trying to get them coins, honey. Like no, always trying to get them coins. Oh, I'm drinking some brews, guys. I don't even know what this is. Like I just found this and I bought it. So um I also had two jobs, right? So one job was um me working at a pharmacy, and then the second job was me um, working as a hostess, which is like a promoter of some sort, right? So cool beans. So basically, the pharmacy job started at 1, and then the promoter job would start at 6. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 1 to 5, I had a pharmacy job, and then 6 to 2 a.m. I had a I had a promoting job, right? Club promoting. So cool. So this guy is hitting me up on Facebook. So I did not have any other social media besides Facebook. I did not have Instagram. I did not have Twitter. I had Twitter, but it was not active. Yeah, I just had Facebook because only I had Facebook because as well it was just a thing of at work they wanted me to have Facebook, so I had Facebook. Cool vibes. So fast forward, this guy's DMing me and I'm not responding to him. So one day, my 6 p.m. job, the club job, we had an event at PMB in PMB. So we went to PMB with the people that I used to work with. So I worked at my 6 p.m. job for about 3 years. And over the 3 years, I had, so basically, because I'm a woman, we are the face of the promoting. So because you're a woman, you are paired up with a guy, right? And this guy is supposed to be like someone who like shadows you wherever you go in a way. I think he's not really doing the job, but his job is to, he's not really promoting anything, but his job is just to look after you as a woman because you as a woman are the face, right? Cool. So I had a friend, I had a guy like that, and his name, let's call him P. P, we had been working together for quite some time, right? And we had worked together so much so that we had just become like, we had just a good relationship. Like it was like a brother sister type of thing because he stayed close to the venues as well where I worked. So we would go to his home and we would chill there with his mom and his sister, and it was just quite it was a nice thing, man. It was really nice. It was really nice. So he was like a brother to me, right? So we worked together for about 3 years or something. So in 2015, it was just the beginning of our working relationship, right? When I say 3 years, it probably was a relationship that lasted 2015, 16, 17, but in all honesty, in 2015, we had just started working together. Maybe we had just been together for like 9 months. So, and with me, I had started working for the company in 2014, right? So I came first and then he joined me, right? Okay, this is not about the job. This is about me being dribbled. So, right, anyway, moving forward, um, this is going to involve him. It's also going to involve him a lot. Also, this is why I'm also introducing him to the story. His name will be P. Cool vibes. So on my 6 p.m. job, we go to PMB to work there, and we are promoting. And then as I'm packing up, these 3 guys come up to me and they introduce themselves. And you know, guys, one thing about doctors, wherever they go, you will know that they are doctors, CAs, doctors, lawyers, actual scientists. I've never met an actual science, because if I met an actual science, I'd actually be married to her, because honey, engineers are quite low-key. Engineers don't really say that they're engineers. Yeah, they're quite low-key. But doctors, lawyers, CAs, you will know that they are here. You'll know that they are here. So they come up to me. It was like a five men. It was a 5-man band basically, and they greet me and they call me by name. One of them calls me by name, and the one that's calling me by name is quite cute, like, you know. And I'm like, oh, who are you guys? So, and they tell me that no, our names are da 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 da. And I realized the main leader in this boy band, his name is similar to the guy that is in my DMs. I'm like, so are you so and so that normally DMs me on Facebook, you know? And the crowd laughs at him like, you've been being ignored, da 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 da. And he's like, yeah, I'm that guy, you know. Yeah, I've been trying to get your attention, but you've been ignored for a while now. And I'm looking at him like, okay, cool, he's a fine guy. One thing about men, they will look better than their pictures. Like, they will look good, honey. So he takes my number, he hits me up over the weekend, and he asked me if we could go on a date, honey. I'm like, yeah, sure. He picks me up, he drives from PMB to Durban. One thing about me at that time, I was naive as fuck, honey, because I thought him driving from PMB to Durban, which is an hour away, was him declaring his love, undying love for me, can't you? There's no such thing as undying love for him, from him. Basically, so he comes through and he picks me up and we go to this fancy restaurant. We wine and dine, that he wines and dines me, basically, and we get along. I would say it was quite cool, yeah. And then as we leave, we kiss. And because I was feeling the vibe and whatnot, he asked me if I want to go back home with him. One thing about me also is that if I'm feeling a guy and he's feeling me, why not? Why not? Jeez, child. You might die tomorrow and you didn't, because you're waiting for a year to get laid. Shit. So I'm like, yeah, sure. And another thing with me, because I was working Friday, Saturday, Sunday, my weekdays, the extra time that I'm supposed to be at school, I would use that, I would bank, and I would do all sorts of crazy stuff that I cannot do during the weekend, because that's when I'm making money, right? I'm taking care of myself, I'm paying rent, I'm doing all of this. I need money, right? And I was making quite a buck from my side hustles. As much as they kept me busy, my bank was busy too. I was probably like one of the most moneyed women in my race because of my side hustle. So anyway, I go with him to PMB. We go past a liquor store and we buy alcohol, and we go to his house, we chill, we talk, we watch movies, or whatever we did, and babsed. I had sex. Twee. Obviously we're adults. So we had sex, and then we woke up in the morning, and he was asking me what I'm going to do during the day while he's gone, because he can't take me back home in the morning, right? So I'm like, yeah, I don't know. It's like, hey, you know what? Just take my bank card and then just drive me with my car to work. So we're calling this guy Al, right? We'll call Dr. Al, right? So it says, you drive me to work and then come back with the car, do whatever you want to do, shop, da da da, and then when I'm done with work, I'll tell you, and then you can pick me up. Cool. That was the plan. We did that, came back home in the afternoon, picked him up, he came back, and he said to me, no, I'm not going to take you home tonight. I want us to chill together. I want to basically have fun with you. I don't know if you want to go to the movies or you want, but I want to go to, there's also another thing that I want to do, like go to the soccer stadium. He wanted to watch soccer, but it was live in PMB. I think there's a stadium in PMB. So I just chose the stadium because, for one, okay, I've watched movies plenty of times at the cinema, Lord knows, but the soccer match thing, I've seen it obviously on TV, but I had never been to a stadium and watched a live match, right? So I was like, you know what, let me give this man what he wants, because he clearly wanted to go there. He's a man, he's not going to choose movies over a soccer match at the stadium. And I was like, you know what, it's an experience for me too. I've never been there, let me just go. So we went to the stadium, and his friends were there. It was quite nice. I was enjoying it. It was quite an experience for me as well, even though I was not really necessarily enjoying it, but you know, it is what it is, right? Okay, moving forward. The next day, he went to work and then came back and he took me back home. Now it's a Friday. The reason why I'm going back home, I wouldn't have went back home, I'm sure. It was because it's a Friday now. 1 p.m. I need to be at work. 6 p.m. I need to be at work. Okay, cool. Fine. Okay. So I continue seeing this guy every Wednesday. I skip classes on Wednesday. Not skip. I think I had one class, and then I would go see him, because on Thursday I did not have classes. And then on Friday I would come back and I'd go to my jobs, right? So I did not see him on weekends. I basically saw him on Wednesday, Thursday, then Friday I go back home. That was the time when we saw each other. Okay, cool. Now let's go back to P. P is the guy that I work with, right? Very close with. Family knows me, I know him. So he meets this girl. Let's call her A. Meets A, and A is a sweet girl. She's very beautiful, closer woman. And he tells me about her. Like, I met this girl and she's quite nice, you know, but there's only just one problem with her. What? Obviously, there's always problems. Yeah, what's up? And then he tells me that, okay. Yeah, kuba sibisko. Madoda yakho isane. Hey. Hayi niyakowisana minthandile. So, a girl is saying that she cannot have sex with P because she is still going through some turmoil with her past ex-boyfriend. Things did not end well. She was ghosted and she's still not over that. So she still needs to heal from that before she can actually give herself to another man, which I totally understand, my love. I totally understand that. And I applaud her for that. Like, she was quite older than me, right? Because at that time I didn't quite understand it, but now I understand it. I get it. But don't get into relationships if you still need to heal. But that's a story for another day. So my friend here is going through the most. He likes this girl. Wada. So because I had not met this girl. I'm just hearing about her from hearsay from him, basically. So eventually I meet her through him, obviously, because at some point I would have met her because we were always together with P, so much so that we'd meet each other's, we would, ooh, George, missed that again. So much so that we would meet each other's partners because we would not have time over the weekend. Then we'd just have them come to work with us because we were working at the club. So just come, we'll all have fun, we'll drink together, but we're still working, right? Cool. So I meet her, she's quite a cool girl, whatever. And fast forward, this girl ends up telling P why she's not having sex with him, right? And no, she does say why she's not having sex with him. Now she gives him, because under my instructions, I told P to dig a little bit deeper to find out who this ex is, right? Maybe we know him, might never know. Durban is very tiny. It's little. So P, under my instructions, goes and investigates. And he comes up to me and says, oh, the guy that ghosted my girlfriend his name is actually Al. Al, the name that he said was the same name as my Al, right? Take note of that. And I'm like, oh, where does Al stay? It's like, oh, apparently he stays in PMB. My Al stays in PMB. Zakala get back. Zakala. Okay, cool. Me as Nana, I put 2 and 2 together and they make 4, honey. And I'm like, P, this sounds like my man, you know? And funny enough, I had friends outside P, right? So by the time I said, this is my man, P, when I said this is my man, so when P told me the story, baby girl had already been laying it to him, right? So she had moved on now. They're obviously like now having sex, and she's moved on. She's moving on. She's trying to move on. So everything is cool, right? So I've got friends, you know, like girlfriends that we work with in the same company, P, me, and those girls. So I go to those girls and I tell them that, hey, listen, this is the situation. I'm seeing this guy and P is seeing this girl and this girl, oh shit. P is seeing this girl and this girl seems to be my L's ex, right? And my girlfriends, I won't even lie, they told me, they were just like, Nana, do not ask L about A. Because one thing about men, this guy ghosted A. And if you go to him now and tell him that she's moved on to P, he will get a little bit jealous and he will go hit her up, you know? And you don't know what might happen after that, right? What does Nana do? Now it's Wednesday. It's time for me to go see my man. What happens? Me, I go to see my man, and guys, fear a man's chest. This is the one thing I want to emphasize. Fear a man's chest. One thing about a man's chest, it will make you talk. It will make you spill secrets. It will make you plan shit that you'll never do. It will make you promise shit that you don't even afford. A man's chest is the devil. Not with me, I'm laying on a man's chest. Okay, basically, yeah. So me and Al, we're chilling. and I'm in his chest and all of that. And I tell him, like, hey, babe, you know, I think I know one of your exes. He's asked me if there was a need for any of that. Was there a need for me to ask him? No, 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 absolutely not. No, absolutely not. So I'm just like, it's like, what ex? I'm like, no, do you know A? He's like, yeah, I do. I'm like, oh yeah, I know her. She's actually dating P, my good friend. And now, when I say P, it's like P, yeah. So I continue talking about P, he's a good friend of mine. We work together, and I show him pictures of P. Now, one thing about P, he is damn good looking, honey. He was good looking. The reason I missed that was because I just knew how messy he is, because I'm always with him and I used to work with him. So I used to know how messy he is. But one thing about him, he was a good looking gent. And had I known otherwise, honey, I would have smashed that. But he was just a messy nigga. Not messy, but like, I just knew his stories. There's no need for you to know a nigga stories, basically. So moving forward, right? I leave. He sends me back home, and the following week it's his birthday, right? And I've got this whole thing planned for him. Restaurant. If any of you if you guys know restaurants, I had booked him like the chef's table. No, there's a new chef's table now. I don't know if it's there, but there's a not English, do me dirty again. There's a chef's table. There's a chef's table that recently happened in Durban, in Mhlanga Rocks by the beach. No, there's a chef's table at the Oyster Box where you pay 5K for 2 people, my love. Me going there, I'm like, me and my mans, we be there. Did this man not tell me that he's not going to be able to come to Durban? He's not been able to celebrate his birthday with me. You know, I'm like, shop. I call up my friend, a good guy friend of mine, and we go to the movies together. And he was so dramatic. He was actually gay. So he's so dramatic. We just took the cake with us, went to the movies. I remember that day, Mad Max had just came out. 2015, Mad Max. We went to watch Mad Max, and I remember at the time when I watched it, it was quite a weird movie. But now when I think about it, it was actually quite a nice movie. Mad Max. Yeah, so we watched Mad Max, and the following week after his birthday, we had quite a little bit of an altercation. And I remember that I wrote him a long paragraph. One thing about men, honey, do not write them a paragraph. For multiple reasons. Do not write men paragraphs. Either tell that man that you want to see him tomorrow, make up an appointment for another day if he cannot see you the next day. But at that point in time, don't call him. Actually, call him. You can call him. Because he can actually listen to you. But do not send a voice note. Do not send a paragraph, especially not a paragraph. Maybe a voice note, but a paragraph. Do not send a man a paragraph. I sent him a paragraph, and he read it. And then I think I sent him a second text, right? Now, one thing to take away from this is that for me personally, the reason why it's so easy to ghost, the reason why it's easy to ghost me, is because I will send a text, and you see it. And then I'll send another one, maybe 2-3 hours later, and you read it and you don't reply to it. That automatically means to me, you're ghosting me. And I'm not ever, ever, ever going to send you another message unless you send it. So I think that's what makes me very easy to ghost, because I'm that person. I do not send call, send, call, trying to reach this guy because he's not responding. No. Two texts, if you don't reply, two texts, and you read both of them and you still don't reply, someone is a fool here, and it's definitely not the person who read the message. It's me, and I'm not going to reply, honey. I'm not going to reply. So that's what makes it easy to ghost me. First. Second, I went through the most with that guy because he was the first guy that I ever invested time into trying to date. Because the first guy that I slept with, we were friends, and I did not like him like that. So I slept with him, and then maybe twice or three times. And then the second guy was this guy. And I kind of tried to have like a relationship with him. That's why, and it was my first time being ghosted as well. Like, it was my first time being ghosted too. Yo, what guys, Cool beans, I. So I'm sending paragraph guy. So basically, I got ghosted for a few months. Months, actually. During those months, I was a tiny girl. No lies, I was really, really tiny. And I used to go to gym, but my life became about gym because I was trying to forget. That's what happens to me. Like, whenever I'm trying to forget something, I will try and redirect my focus to something, which is good, I think. I don't know. Is it good? Ding, 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 ding. I think it is. So I redirected my focus to gym. And so I would gym, work, school. Gym, work, school. Gym, that was me. Gym, work, school. I became so tiny. And then I started being obsessed with piercings. I pierced everything that you can think of that I could pierce. I think I had piercings on my ear, my nose. I had piercings, my neck. I had, to a point where one of my bosses actually asked me that, says, are you okay? Like, is everything okay? What's going on? What's going on, boo? What's going on? I was going through it. So yeah, true. Cool vibes. So fast forward, I see this guy, and now I'm on a date. Because I did not date for the longest time, trying to get over this bullshit. And I see this guy, and now I'm going on a date, right? I'm going on a date with some dude. I don't even think that you could call that a date. Like, a date at Cubana from 1 to 6 is definitely a date. But a date at Cubana from 6 upwards, and that is not a date, honey. That is groove. So basically, I was going on a groove with someone. So as we're walking into Cubana, I see this guy. He's there. He's with A. That was the first time I actually saw him after he had ghosted me. I have no problem with A. I know her through my buddy, P. So I'm like, hey, A, what do you do? What's up? But from the way things were, I could see that, I could see that Al had just been bounced out from Cubana because of the certain type of shoes that you're supposed to wear when you go to Cubana. So I greet A. I'm so sorry, this thing is making me burp so much. Yeah. So anyway, so I greet A is cool, yeah, cool, you know, because honestly, she did not know that I used to date him. You know, she just sees him as a nigger that came back after ghosting her, basically. So I had no beef with her, right? So my beef was with him, and I did not speak to him. So I went inside Cubana. They went out. So I think he was going to change his shoes at a place because what with A, stayed across Cubana. This is Cubana, Florida. She stayed across Cubana. I stayed behind Cubana. So we both stayed in Morningside, but she stayed across Cubana. I stayed behind Cubana. So I think they were going to her place so that he could change his shoes. Cool vibes. When they came back, I realized that they're actually seated right next to me. They were on a double date. So when I sat down before they came back, there was a woman and a man there. When they came back, they joined the two. So basically, it was a double date. Okay, cool. Fast forward another time when I saw them together, it was up in the club. Up in the club, you know how clubs are. I was seated at a... Clubs are what's the word I'm looking for? Divided. Are always divided into three. General. There's always general, VIP, VVIP, right? So they were at general and there was a VIP, but I was at a VVIP. But now the VVIP was situated right next to the general, but there was a glass door with bouncers there. And I was inside the glass door and I could see them. And I was with, at the time, I think I was 25. So I was with a guy that was, I would myself at the time consider significantly older than me, but he was not, because he was like 38 and I was 25. But I would have thought he was significantly older than me, but he was not. That is actually like someone I'm supposed to marry at the time. But I always felt at that age that anyone who's 38 is older than me. It's supposed to be my dad, but it's not supposed to be my dad. It's supposed to be like my spouse. So anyway, he was there. I saw him there. After that day, he blocked me. I don't know why he blocked me. I don't know why he blocked me. I don't know why. Maybe because I was whoring around. Shit. Was I whoring around? I was not. I was just with a guy who was my need. Anyway, moving on. Third time I saw him was at a pool party. I had just moved to Joburg and I came back from Joburg to graduate for my honors, and I was very excited. Yay, I should graduate. So how invited me to a pool party? Oh, so my nephew had a cricket match at his school, St. Charles. So I was tasked with going to watch him there because his parents were quite busy. So I went to watch him, his cricket match, but now I was bored. I was really bored, and I posted on Twitter. I said I was active on Twitter now, so posted on Twitter, "Hey, I'm at St. Charles. Anyone come join me?" Da da da. So 2 guys from PNB came to join me at St. Charles. We watched the cricket match, and then they drove us all back home. And then when we got home, they told me, "Hey, listen, we've got a pool party happening later on. Would you like to come? We'll come pick you up." Da, 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 da. I'm like, "Oh, sure, cool, no problem. I would love to come." And then they picked me up and went there. Now, I used to be a flying fish girl at the time. So before we got there, we went past to buy flying fish. Why am I mentioning this? Oh, because yeah, I'm about to meet some people there. So bought flying fish. We went there, and now my friend was parked in an awkward position, I think. Or I had no, it was not parked. So my friend had my alcohol in his car, right? So he parked and we left the car. But now when I was coming back to get the beers from his car, I think my ex had just arrived, because I do not understand what happened there. So I came back, opened the car, got the beers out to drink, and then I closed the car. Because when I got the beer, I left, and then I met some other guys that I know from back, like from Groove and work, right? And they're quite like money guys. Like they were actually that pool party, even though the pool had algae, because it was a pool party. And the pool, yayine algae, yes. ongazungena kwipool ubhukuthi ngoba ipool lane yakhe. Anyway, so we see so I take out the beers and I go meet, and then I meet some friends of mine, like quite moneyed guys, like those people that have money but bakhulumi kakhulu. You just see the actions that, hey man, kunemali la. And you hear like those little whispers and little things that they say, which there's money here. So I end up chilling with those guys that I know from back in the day, and we're just talking whatnot. So I ended up not drinking my flying fish. I was drinking their alcohol. It was like, no, dude, stop drinking flying fish. Just join us, just join us in the spirits and the bubbles world, right? Anyway, yeah, so he came up to me. I don't know what he actually was congratulating me about. Till today, I don't know what he was congratulating me about. But it's either he was congratulating me because he thought the car I just came out of was my car, or 2, my graduation, because I had just graduated 3 days ago, or 4 or 3, 1, either I came out of the car, 2, you knew that it was my car, 3, oh no, let me recount. This alcohol is getting to me. It's either he congratulated me because 1, he thought the car was my car, or 2, he thought that obviously I graduated, which I had, or 3, what was he congratulating me on? Just all those 2 things. I don't know which one he was congratulating me on, basically. But he was there with A, and they were engaged. A had a ring on her finger. A had a ring on her finger. The fuck? Nigger. Right? Anyway, fast forward to that. Fast forward after that, I downloaded a new Facebook. I deactivated my old Facebook. Now I had a new Facebook, and I DM'd him. Like, I don't know why I DM'd him. Like, I don't know. Like, but I just did it. And funny enough, he was very cool. Like weirdly, not funny. Weirdly enough, he was cool. Like, he was quite cool with it. Like, he was quite a cool gent about it. And he was like, hey, how you doing? I hope you're good. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. How are you doing? He's like, yeah, I'm cool. Yeah, right. And we decided to meet up for dinner and whatnot. And we ended up at a beach by his place. And we were just drinking, having fun. That was like one of the best times of my life when I was like, I had fun. Like, I had really, really, really good fun. And he had changed. Like, he had, and they were no longer together with A, and he spoke about that, and it was sad, heartbreaking basically for him, sad for me, heartbreaking for him, and we chilled, we talked about a lot of things. And I remember when I left him, I was going back to PMB. He was also going to PMB because I have family in PMB, so I was going there. So he dropped me off there, and then he went to his friends, and then he picked me up, and then we went back to his place, and then we went back home. Basically, we missed 2 days of work, just partying and just enjoying each other's company, basically. So after that, I think that was like it was November, and then he took me out for dinner on my birthday. And after my birthday, on Christmas, he actually asked me to get back together with him. Like, he was like, hey, like, do you want to try this again? But on Christmas, I had already applied to come to South Korea. And I did say yes, because honestly, he was doing well. He was doing good. Like, he was consistent. Like, dude, I think it was from June until like December, 6 months. It was really consistent, like trying, and would go out, and he was really like a consistent guy. And I was like, yeah, sure, we can try. But he had his insecurities. I think it was about, nah. Like, he would tell me, like, he feels like I'm going to do something. Like, he said to me, like, I am too open-minded now, like the way I speak and how I do things and how I, like, everything I do, it just seems different from the girl that he knows from like them. Like, no, see, he knows like a 24-year-old, and I'm 28 now, because now it's so. What happened when he ghosted me was 2015. Now it's 2019. 4 years later, I'm now a grown ass woman. I've experienced people, I've experienced things. I speak differently. So he said that he feels like I've changed, right? So, um, what happened? So my birthday took me out, and on Christmas he asked me out. So I said yes. In January, we planned a vacation, which was my idea. I won't even lie, it was my idea. We planned a vacation. We paid for it in January, but by the time I had told him about the vacation, that it was my idea, I had already knew that I had applied to come to Korea, but I was not sure whether I'm coming. But in Jan, I got a letter of approval, and they told me that, shit, you coming on the 6th of Feb. It's bad. It's coming on the 6th of Feb. I did not tell him. I think I told him like a week before or 2 weeks before. And you know, he's like, yeah, I knew this. Like, I could tell her that you're gonna do something like this. You know. And then I think on the day when I was supposed to leave, I was supposed to leave on the 4th to land on the 6th, because there was a 1-day layover in Dubai. So on the day when I was supposed to leave, my flight was at 8 p.m. He came over in the morning, I think around 9ish, and we took a nap. We literally took a nap together. I'm not kidding you. We took a nap together, and he left around 3 p.m. He actually took me to go withdraw money so that I can exchange it for dollars, because I needed to have money this side, you know, right? But they do not take rands, but they do take dollars. So he took me to withdraw money. Then he dropped me back home. He asked me if he can drop me at the airport, but it was too early. 3 p.m. is too early, even for an international flight. So I was like, no, it's cool, it's okay. And then he went home. But I think that was like the best time I had with him, honestly. And like my last days in South Africa, that was like the best days that I had with him. You know, like, he was quite genuine and a little bit grown. He was not like that intern doctor. And my intern doctor, guys. Yes, so it was quite nice, even though like I had to go. Like, South Africa, for me, I was hurtful. But no, that's a story for another day. But yeah, so we talk now, every now and again. We spoke on Christmas. We spoke on Christmas because, like, we speak every time there's a hint about me being in a relationship here. He's like, oh, so you dating there? And he'll get mad. Like, he'll get mad. And it's so sweet, you know? But yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I have to love and leave you. But yeah, thank you for watching. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe, right? And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Basically, I will be posting something every Monday. I don't know, like, it will change. It will be a vlog. If I want it to be a vlog, it'll be a story time. It'll be something. Whatever I want it to be, it'll be what I want it to be. And guys, thank you so much for watching. I see your efforts. I see your comments, and hopefully I reply to everyone. And thank you so much. And I wish I can be so, like, I will be consistent. I want to be consistent this time. So yeah, thank you so much. Bye bye. Mwah.